Hello and good late afternoon to you. Welcome to the Digital Weather Desk, powered by Century Next Bank. I'm Jared Floyd. Happy late Monday afternoon. Joining you a smidge early. Not a whole lot going on. Should be a pretty quiet night across the area, so just taking a quick time out of the forecast to kind of update things as we go into the evening. I'm convinced the clouds will never leave. Like I said, I'm being a little dramatic. They will move out tonight, but they did not really grace us with a lot of late sunshine today. Today's forecast made possible by ServPro Monroe. West Monroe, faster to any size disaster. Call or click servpro.com for more today. And we start off to look at some of the viewer photos that have been sent in over the last couple of weeks. Some of these as late as Thanksgiving, but just haven't shared them on a live stream yet. I'll also post them to my social media outlets later this evening so you can see them if you don't catch them now for whatever reason. Ricky took this picture near the Arkansas-Louisiana line. I would only assume that he was maybe looking for some food at this point, just considering where he is at the time of the day, right along the state line, maybe looking for a deer. Amanda sent this one in near Oak Ridge, I believe from the 2nd of December. The pesky low clouds that wouldn't relinquish then, and I would assume that Oak Ridge probably looks pretty similar now, struggling to get rid of the cloud cover. And then Britton took this picture in Ouachita Parish. Again, you can upload photos via the Digital Weather Desk app, available for Apple and Android users. Severe weather, storm reports, or just some cool-looking photos. Feel free to upload those when you see fit. Check of I-20 as we head toward the 5 o'clock time frame, and obviously volume will start to pick up here in the next little bit. Good evening to you, Janice. We go from west to east from Well Road to Pecanland Mall across West Monroe and Monroe. Again, everything seems to be moving smoothly now. Obviously, there's not going to be any weather-induced traffic issues, but just wanted to show this to you. A graphic that obviously I worked on quite a bit today to get all of the traffic cameras on one. And I hope to bring you more of those up and along Highway 165. Hoping to bring you some views from Mississippi, hopefully some of our views from southern Arkansas as well, and hope to just expand our eyeballs and our vision across the region. A check of temperatures at the bottom of the 4 o'clock hour, and again, I don't have a lot of good news in terms of what we've been encountering across the region. It's been a lot of pesky cloud cover, and that has led to just kind of a gross day across the region. There's a look at temperatures. My clicker stopped working. May have been how many maps that I had on, or how many cameras I had on the map there. Oh well, we got to the next graphic. Good afternoon, Miss Norris. Hopefully you're having a wonderful day. Low to mid 40s across most of the region. Upper 30s still in El Dorado. I don't know. There's some areas that have struggled to get out of the 30s today because of the clouds. We did see some sunshine in the southern parishes and counties. Not enough to make a hill of beans difference. Maybe a few degrees difference, and that's about it. Early in the afternoon. Look at Futurecast made possible by Bayou Power Sports I-20 Frontage Road in Monroe. And it struggles with our overnight lows. And a lot of the computer models are really struggling with where we're going to fall in terms of low temperatures tonight. Some really have us kind of stuck in the mid to upper 30s. Others drop us to near the freezing mark. I have most of us at least close to the freezing mark. Where's the clipboard? Still on the floor. 3 months of doing this, the clipboard's still on the floor. It may never get off the floor. But yeah, I have us at 30, 32, and 34 El Dorado, Monroe, Natchez. And we may not get there. But with those types of things, I kind of try to err on the side of caution just simply because of pets and plants. Probably want to move them inside just in case, seeing how things are shaping up for the evening. And then obviously, or through the overnight, that I should say. And then sunshine really wins over tomorrow. Winds will start to shift to the south later in the day, and we should be on a warming trend. Speaking of those winds right now, they're out of the north and northeast. They've been quite breezy, and again, without a lot of sunshine, it makes things pretty uncomfortable outside. It has not been a red letter day in forecasting cloud cover over the last week. You won't hear your meteorologist say that very frequently, but in terms of forecasting clouds, really going back to about last Tuesday, and I can be that specific because I specifically remember when my wife left on her trip, I was like, well, you're going to a better destination, and she came back, like I said last night, and She was like, well, what did you do weather-wise? I said, we've dealt with the exact same crud that you've had when you left. We had like 3 hours of sunshine, and that's about it. Check of the drought monitor. Again, this is only updated once a week every Thursday, so this is not new, but I just want to remind you that as we go back into another prolonged stretch of dry conditions, we could use some rainfall, and it is not headed our way. The rainfall over the last 30 days, we have made some progress. Last week's rain, it helped us out. Ms. Travis says, I like the temperatures, but I'm tired of the rain. I'm tired of the clouds. The clouds are annoying because, again, in terms of the forecast, they really, really throw a wrench in the forecast very quickly. And we're talking, if you miss a forecast high by 2 or 3 degrees, you go, well, okay, it's a pretty decent forecast. Low clouds will make you miss a forecast by 10, 12, 15 degrees in some instances because you assume that eventually the clouds will move out, the sun shines in, and temperatures will rebound pretty quickly. But when those low clouds are they just stay like a blanket, boy, they are frustrating. Good evening to you as well, Onethia. And if you didn't believe me on the cloud cover, here's the infrared satellite to show you that the clouds are still here. I waited very long. I waited 7 minutes into this live stream to show you the clouds. You didn't need me to show them to you. I know that you probably believed me without it, but there they are. Radar products made possible by Brown's Roofing. Schedule your free roof inspection at brownsroofingla.com. Do that when the weather is good. Don't wait until the weather is bad. You don't want to wait until you spring a leak or have some kind of damage that you don't realize you have until it, rears its ugly head. So, again, schedule those free roof inspections now. Jimmy and the gang will get you squared away. Nothing doing. All the snow moving through the mid-Atlantic states, through portions of the Great Lakes as well. Futurecast shows that high pressure will move right over the top of us tomorrow. That usually allows for fairly light winds, but it also allows for a shift of those winds. They'll be light through the day, but they'll start to pick up out of the south and could be a little breezy at times by the end of the day. They should be light through the early half of the day. Good afternoon, Mr. Greg. I'm headed to go see your better half here very shortly. Risha, good evening to you as well. Cold front arrives Wednesday. It's a weak front. In fact, we'll probably see 60s for highs. That boundary doesn't make that much of a difference. High pressure moves back in the short term beyond it, and then another boundary is slated to move through on Friday. We could muster up some small rain chances. I don't have them in the forecast right now, but it's not out of the realm of possibilities for us to drub up a shower or two on Friday, maybe even into Saturday. But it's all about the upper level pattern. And I'll try to make this as short and sweet as possible. But again, I love my upper level maps and I love my ability to telestrate. Northwesterly pattern right now, continuing to keep us cool and dry aloft. Again, we're still dealing with the low clouds. That's happening in the low levels of the atmosphere. That's not this map's problem. As we put things into motion, cold front arrives on Wednesday. Again, the vast majority of that kind of misses us to the north, and the ridge of high pressure out over the northern Gulf, this big hump in the jet stream, kind of fights back against that first cold front. Says, no, you're not bringing that much cold air in. In fact, you're not bringing any. We get beyond that, and you start looking at that cooler. First punch of cold air arrives in the Great Lakes, and then you start seeing this secondary punch of cold air this weekend. But the problem is, again, the storm track, the upper level wind track, really carries that off to the north. So we kind of catch a glancing blow of it at some point this weekend. The boundary moves through Sunday, and you can see the colder air has moved in. Temperatures falling quite a bit as we go Sunday into Sunday night and Monday morning. But the upper level pattern, this little ridge of high pressure, is just kind of fighting back against the transport of cold air. And again, this time of year, you need that cold air to dart from north to south. You need it to pull up across central sections of Canada and just surge southward. And the storm track really isn't carrying it that way. It's carrying it more off to our north and east. So we kind of catch the back end of the depth of the cold air, which means it's a shallower air mass. And then once our upper level winds shift again back out of the west and southwest, we're back on the warming trend again. So it's not to say that we're not going to get cooler, because we will, but the depth and the more quality cold air that you've been hearing so much about really looks to pull up to the north and northeast, and the computer models have continued to trend generally warmer going into next week. Lows tonight, again, I've got them near the freezing mark. I don't feel good about them. Again, I don't see the point in trying to sit here and tell you I feel confident about a forecast that don't. When the cloud cover's been this pesky, if we spend the next several hours still trying to get rid of these last low stratus clouds, you may be stuck at 35, 36. I don't think anybody's going to complain about that, but you may be several degrees warmer overnight depending on how the clouds treat us. If we can get the clouds out of here in the next hour or two, yeah, we'll fall pretty quickly, and a lot of us could spend some time below the freezing mark tonight. Jan, good evening to you. Daytime highs tomorrow in the mid to upper 50s. I say plenty of sunshine. Boy, I hope so. Winds will be back out of the south. Rain chances close to 0. Sets us up for the warming trend that carries us through the middle part of the week. We're back in the 60s by Wednesday, Thursday, perhaps into Friday, and possibly into Saturday. If you saw my forecast update yesterday, I had the forecast high Saturday, Sunday in the 40s. They still could be there in theory, but it just depends on the track of that colder air, and the trend is for most of that cold air to kind of miss us to the north and the northeast. So I still expect us to cool down, but it may not be that drastic punch of cool air that it was initially thought. That said, most of the computer model data is kind of on one of two extremes. It's either really warm or it's really cool. And for lack of a better term, I'm kind of trended toward the warmer stuff, but still splitting the difference kind of right down the middle. Hey, Stanley, the chief forecaster came in to say hello. He is quality assurance. He's also the general manager of the Digital Weather Desk. He's a quality guy. That's the cat, by the way, if you don't know who I'm talking about. And that's a look at the forecast for this evening. Again, 4:45. There's not a whole lot of crazy change expected. It's all hinging on the cloud cover tonight. And then we just await the cooler air this weekend and what that means in terms of how cool we'll get. Stanley sees his reflection in the window and is now pawing out the window. That's the pride of the Digital Weather Desk right there. Can't say if we don't get some changes to the forecast soon, I won't be doing something similar. Because again, it's been dry for a while now, and we need a pattern, a prolonged pattern flip that gets us some rain here. Maybe it'll happen sometime soon. Reminder, the Digital Weather Desk, powered by Century Next Bank, is a digital weather platform serving 33 parishes and counties across northern Louisiana, southern Arkansas, and western Mississippi. It is made possible 100% free to you by the local businesses that you see there on your screen. Your role in this whole thing is pretty simple. Follow us on your favorite social media platforms, like, comment, share the content that you see fit. Support our local business partners when you can, if you can. A simple email or Facebook message saying, hey, thanks for what you're doing. It means the world to me, and it means the world to them. So, again, make sure that you just show your support for the platform as we continue to bring you new features. Again, every day is something different. There's only so many hours in the day, but rest assured, I'm constantly working to try to bring some new, more efficient ways of getting us weather information so we're all informed, we're all educated, and we're all just better prepared for the crazy weather that often arrives in our area. Although it has been, again, a very quiet several weeks and months. And that's not a bad thing. Jeff, Nell, Sonia, Kathy, thanks so much for joining in. Again, a little early. Wife came into town, darted right back out of town. She's on a work trip now, and so trying to bend and flex so I can hang out with the pipsqueak as much as possible. My mother-in-law is in town. She's been in town for a while, and she is an angel on this earth, has been helping me out, because if not, I would probably be a lot more kooky at this point than I already am. And you know me, we don't need any more kookiness. Forecast is always available at digitalweatherdesk.com and on the Digital Weather Desk app, available for Apple and Android users. Fish and Game comes out at 8 p.m. tonight. If you missed the viewer photos, I'll repost those here in about an hour and 15 minutes or so. And I'll join you first thing tomorrow morning, hopefully with some clear skies. If the clouds are still here tomorrow morning, we're all going to have to stand outside with some ceiling fans or box fans and blow dryers and try to get the clouds out. I don't know what we're going to do. But we got to get some sunshine back in here. Sandra, thanks so much for stopping in as well. Again, for those that just hopped into the live stream, let this the video format and do all that stuff, and then you can hop back on, skip through everything that you don't need to hear, and get the forecast that you need. And I'll see you first thing tomorrow morning. Thanks so much for stopping by the Digital Weather Desk, powered by Century Next Bank. Enjoy the rest of your Monday, everybody.